Stop. Don't do these 10 things on your Android phone. I'm Hewie Poplock. Our smartphones have become our wallets, cameras, address books, and even our health trackers. They hold so much personal information, but with that convenience comes responsibility. Many of us make small mistakes without realizing it, and those little things can make our phones less secure. We'll go through 10 of the most common mistakes people make on Android phones, and I'll show you some simple ways to avoid them. Don't worry, this won't be complicated. I'll demonstrate most of them on my Galaxy S22 Ultra from Samsung so you can see how I do it on my phone. Mistake number 1. Using public Wi-Fi unsafely. The mistake? Connecting to open public Wi-Fi networks in airports, cafes, or hotels. Hackers can steal data using fake networks or packet sniffing. Wi-Fi is everywhere. Airports, cafes, hotels. Public Wi-Fi often lacks encryption. Hackers use tricks like the evil twin, fake hotspot that looks real, packet sniffing, reading unencrypted data, or connecting without protection put your phone and data at risk. What's the remedy? Use your phone's mobile data instead or turn on a VPN app for a secure connection. Turn off Auto Connect to open networks in Wi-Fi settings. Many people connect to free Wi-Fi in airports, cafes, or hotels. The danger is that hackers can create fake networks or snoop on unencrypted traffic. The remedy, as I said, use a mobile data or a VPN and disable Auto Connect to open networks. There are several things you can do with your phone to protect yourself in a public setting. You're going to go to Settings, and then you're going to go to Connections. This shows you your Wi-Fi, and if you click on this, it will show you all of the Wi-Fi connections that are available. There we go. So if, let's say you're in a McDonald's, and the McDonald's may be here, it may have 2 or 3 McDonald's, one for guests, and so on. But let's say you're very leery about using the McDonald's one for safety reasons. Well, then you're going to want to not use the Wi-Fi. And if I shut that off, we'll lose the connection, so you won't be able to see it here. But what you're going to do is come down to data usage and make sure your mobile data is turned on. Then you can go back, you turn your Wi-Fi off, and it'll force it to use the cell tower and not the McDonald's or the local connection to the internet. Be sure that if you're limited on your mobile data, that you're watching and being careful on how much data you're using. And it does, on my phone, gives me some kind of indication how much I've used during a certain amount of time. Usually, I believe it's a month, and it is. And so what you want to make sure is that you don't use up all your data at one time, that you try not to do things. You're not going to want to watch a movie in a McDonald's, a whole movie, and use up all of your data. But again, if you go back to your Wi-Fi, it's here, and you can turn it off, turn it on, and connect to the one you want. Or if you're in an office environment, your doctor's office, and you want to make sure you're connecting to the correct one, and then they'll give you a password, and you'll type the password in. Mistake number 2, tapping allow on every permission request without checking. This can let apps access your contacts, location, microphone, or camera unnecessarily. You can give too many permissions. Granting excessive permissions to apps on Android devices weakens security by allowing access to sensitive data and features they don't truly need. This broad access can expose devices to threats like data breaches, surveillance, tracking, and data collection. The remedy is go to Settings, Apps, and Permissions and review what each app can access. Only allow what's truly needed. Giving applications permissions. You want to be careful which permissions you give, and you might want to double check them. I checked mine and I couldn't find a lot that I had given permissions to, but let's go ahead and look at settings. From settings, we go to apps, and then all of our apps are listed here. But let's go to Ring, because Ring I've given a lot of permissions to. So when you go there, you'll see notifications are blocked. So if I get any notifications, they're not posted. So if you're getting notifications from an app and you don't want them, this is how you would turn that off. But when you go to permissions, you'll see what's allowed and what's not allowed. And if you no longer want the camera to work on a particular app, or you don't want the mic, you don't need the microphone for that particular app, and you turned it on, you might want to tell it not to do it. And then the things that are not allowed, if you need to turn any of them on, you can. So if I wanted notifications every time somebody walked in front of my camera or clicked my doorbell, I would get a notification. I don't want that. That would happen too often. So this is how you would turn them on, turn them off, the app permissions. Mistake number 3, not closing background apps. Leaving apps open in the background, some can still access the camera, microphone, or run ads and malicious code. Background apps may still use these. Android shows alerts, but manual closing is safer. Or free apps with ad tools can download harmful code and or launch root exploit attacks. The risks include spying and surveillance and theft of call history, contacts, and app lists. The remedy? Periodically check your running apps, swipe up from the bottom, and close them. This saves battery and improves security. Leaving an app running could also cause some issues with access to your camera or microphone and so on. So what you want to do is check your apps that are running in the background. Now, on my phone, it's touching the 3 lines down here. It's showing me all of the apps that I have running in the background. What you want to do is occasionally go in and just swipe up and turn them off or stop accessing. It's as simple as that. Mistake number 4, skipping or delaying updates because they take too long. This leaves known security holes open for hackers. Updates is security protection, not just new features. Companies patch flaws hackers use to attack. Skipping updates leaves your device exposed. The risks included better performance and stability, bug fixes, and fewer crashes. Benefits of updating: better performance and stability. Updates are worth the wait. So the remedy is keep your phone and apps updated and go to the settings, and I'll show you how I can do it on my phone. One thing you don't want to do is ignore software updates. And how do you know what software updates you need to do? So first, let's go to the Play Store and click on your name or picture, whatever's up on the top here. Manage apps and device. Let's take a look at that and see updates. It's going to check to see if I have any updates. And I have 5 updates that are pending. And if I tell it update all, it will update them. The other thing you want to check is your software update. I'm going to click that, and it's going to download and install. Last checked on July 27th, which was a couple of weeks ago, and it was installed then. Now, if I click here, it's going to go out, look, see if there's an install. Let's see if there's an update. And I'm up to date. Mistake number 5, sideloading apps. Mistake number 5, installing apps from unknown websites or files sent by others. These can contain malware or Trojans. So sideloading apps installs from outside official app stores. In other words, from websites or other places, or from an email. Bypasses the Apple or Google security checks. The main risk, malware infection. Trojans can steal login codes, read private messages, or take full device control. There's no guarantee of security updates. Feels like the risky days of limeware. The remedy is stick to Google Play Store apps. If you must sideload, only download from trusted developers. Sideloading an app would be, instead of doing it from your Play Store, you go to a website that says install for your Android phone. If you do that, that's called sideloading. It's putting it in directly. It's not going through the Play Store. And unless you really know the site that you're going to is on the up and up and you're comfortable doing it, you can install it. But if you're not sure, if it's something you've never been to before, I would not install it. I would check the Play Store. If it's not in the Play Store, it hasn't been checked by Google to find out if there are problems with it. 6, using weak pins or passwords. The mistake, locking your phone with 1234 or birthdays or swipe patterns that are easy to guess. Common choices, 1234, birthdays, swipe patterns are easy, so much easier to guess. Safer options, use long, unpredictable passcodes. Add biometrics, your fingerprint, your face recognition for extra protection. And use longer passcodes and even an alphanumeric password. Enable fingerprint or face unlock as an extra layer. Using weak pins or passwords. This we can go on forever, so I'm just going to very briefly cover it here. One is, in most cases, on your phone, you'll have either 4 or 6 numbers that you can set up for your PIN. Make sure you do that. Don't leave it without some kind of a way of stopping somebody from getting into your phone. And then once you do that, make sure that you have passwords on important apps or any app that requires a password. Make sure that you make it a strong password and use two-factor authentication if possible. So make sure you have a password so someone can't just pick up your phone and they're on and can get into anything on your phone. Mistake number 7, using trusted places, on-body detection. Keeping the phone unlocked at home, in your pocket, or when paired to a Bluetooth device. If it's stolen, anyone can access your data. Using trusted places, extend unlock, convenience but weak security. On-body detection, keeps phone unlocked while you're carrying it, even if it's stolen. Trusted devices, risky if the phone is lost or stolen in those areas. Trusted devices, use Bluetooth device if the phone is stolen or hacked. Feels like the risky normal PIN, password, or biometrics. And unlocking manually Takes seconds, but it keeps the data protected. So turn off smart lock features. Instead, rely on the PIN or fingerprint every time. This next item is using trusted places or on-body detection. To get to it on my S22, I go to Settings, and then I am going to go to Lock Screen and AOD, or Always On Display. When I click that, I can do an extend, unlock, secure lock settings, always on display, which means it doesn't shut off. The picture is always there. That's going to use your battery up in a hurry, but if you've got it plugged in all the time, it might be something you might want to do. And then there's some other things that you can set. But let's take a look at the extend unlock. Now, when I do that, it's going to go black on the screen because on the phone, it's asking for my PIN. So I have to put my PIN in. And then it goes to the next screen, which is what's extend unlock. You can extend unlock, can recognize when you're holding the device, whether you're if you're near home or another trusted device or trusted place, your watch or another trusted device is nearby. And so I can say, got it. And then I can click on body detection, trusted places, and trusted devices. Right now it's all off, but I could turn it on. Number 8, rooting or jailbreaking, modifying the phone to bypass limits. This disables built-in protection like verified boot and invites malware. It removes built-in security protections and increases the risk of malware and viruses. Unauthorized access. So the best advice is avoid unless you're an expert. So the remedy is avoid routing or rooting. If more control is needed, look for apps or settings that achieve it safely. Avoid rooting. If more control is needed, look for apps or settings that achieve it safely. Rooting or jailbreaking a phone, you really shouldn't do them. Rooting and jailbreaking are similar processes that give a user, super user, or administrator access to their mobile device's operating system, allowing them to bypass limitations set by the manufacturer or carrier. The term rooting specifically applies to Android devices, while jailbreaking refers to the Apple iOS devices. The risks are security vulnerabilities, it voids your warranty. You could brick the device, which means it's absolutely useless to you, or there can be a loss of functionality. I do not recommend rooting or jailbreaking a phone at all. 9, not backing up data. Skipping backups and losing everything if the phone breaks is hacked or stolen. Failure to back up data from your Android device exposes you to security risks and could result in losing valuable information. Your smartphone contains a significant amount of personal data, including photos, contacts, messages, banking information, and two-factor authentication apps. A malware infection could lock you out of your device, but if you have a clean, recent backup, you can restore your data and minimize the damage. So the remedy is turn on Google Backup in Settings, or if you have a Samsung, the Samsung Backup. And you can also back up photos to Google Photos or an external drive. One of the things you don't want to do is not back up. It's very simple to do, very easy to do. One, for your photos, make sure you have Google Photos turned on and you're automatically updating any photos you take with your phone to update to Google Photos in the cloud. Besides that, go to Settings and come down to Settings, Accounts and Backup. You can manage your accounts, but you can back up to the Samsung Cloud or Google Drive or both. On the Samsung Cloud, you can back up your data and you can turn on what you want to back up. You can restore the data from there. So if you break your phone or something happens to your phone, when you get a new one, you just restore the data from here and it will restore it for you. And also you can back up your data to Google Drive and you back it up. I'm using Google One. I've got that turned on. You can back up your apps, your photos and videos, your SMS messages, your call history, device settings, and your account data. You can back up using mobile or metered. Make sure you do back up your data so if something happens to your phone or you buy a new phone, all the data will be able to be brought over very simply and very easily. Mistake number 10, not setting up Find My Device. Losing your phone without the ability to track, lock, or erase it remotely is a big mistake. You want to make sure that you can locate your phone remotely, especially if it's locked, if it's lost or stolen. Sometimes you can even lock it, and you can erase data to protect your info. If there's no way to track a lost phone, you're out of luck. No way to stop others from accessing your data. So setup takes just minutes, but it can save your device and privacy. So the remedy is enable Find My Device in settings, and I'm going to show you how to do that. This lets you protect your data if the phone is lost or stolen. Stop. Don't do these 10 things on your Android phone. I'm Hewie Poplock.